Hello everybody, welcome back to the next video in our Unreal Engine beginner blueprint scripting series. So in the last video we added the player health here, and when you press E it goes down. And I did say that we are going to talk about player death, but in this video I actually want to look at something first because we're going to actually use something in order to create a player death system. So what we want to look at today is event or custom events, functions, and macros. So these are things that you're going to use a lot when you make games using blueprints. So I'm actually going to go into our blueprint here, our third-person blueprint, like before. And I'm going to show you guys what a custom event is, what functions are, and what a macro is. So when you go into your blueprint, I'm going to go to the open space here. A custom event essentially is kind of like the event begin play here. This is an event that can essentially be called whenever you need it to be called. So you can make your own event here. So event begin play, this gets called when the actor or when the game starts and the actor is spawned in. So you can make your own custom event and you can call it within the blueprint or outside of this blueprint with a reference to this character, for example. So to explain that and to show you how to make a custom event, it's pretty simple. You would just right click in the open space and just write add custom event. So this will just bring out a new node here and you can name it whatever you want. So let's say if I were to create a player death event, I could just name it player death. And this will be a custom event that I created. Now, the reason why this can be very useful is because this can be called multiple times within its own blueprint and from other outside blueprints. So what I mean by that is in this event begin play, I can call this event from here. So for example, if I were to say print string and I say, let's just say this says player died. And then I'll actually change the color here because I have a lot of other print strings. So let's say it's like orange or red. Doesn't really matter. And let's just keep it like that. Now this will never be called because you're not actually calling it from anywhere else. But if I were to plug it in here, you would actually see that that event that we just made will be shown here now. So your event that you just created is right here. You press this. So essentially what's happening is on the begin play, this event is essentially going to call this event. So this is essentially just doing what this is doing. Now, this is useful because now I can call this as well from the other blueprints. So if we actually go to our UI blueprint, because that's the only other blueprint we have that was made, that's also connected to the player here. So you need a reference like we did in the last video. Now, if you actually go here, you can also call it here. Just like that. So now you can do a player death from outside the blueprint. So I'm actually going to show. So now if I press play here, as you see, player died in the top left. And if I were to unplug this, or let's say delete, and I do the same thing here, as you see, it's going to start the game. It's going to say player died. So that's what an event is. Essentially something that you can use to kind of call code or a group of code. Because let's say it's not just going to be one thing here. It's going to be multiple things that you're going to do. You know, the player's going to die. Maybe you're going to have ragdoll. Health has to get reset. Maybe the game is going to pause. So all that can get called in one. Another thing you want to look at in custom events is actually the inputs here. So you can actually put in inputs. If you actually press the button in the top right here, now you have variables that can be passed through. So basically, if I were to say maybe health, I can change this to a float, and this is not going to be a variable here, but it's just going to be a variable that's going to be passed through so that it can be used in the event. So if I were to again call this widget, no, sorry, not the widget, call this event player died. So I think it's just player death, sorry. And don't worry about the target here. Self is what is needed. You only need this for if it was a different blueprint, you would need the reference. So now I could pass through this variable. So if I actually press this and I do this, and then I link it up here, now it's just going to print out the player death. And I'm actually going to, I mean, it's fine. Basically, this should print out 1 because it's going to start off as 1, and we're passing through this variable into this event. So even though it's over here, now it's over here. So it's going to say 1. So that's essentially what inputs are in an event. There are some other things here, but we're not going to look at that. So replication here is actually for multiplayer. So the next thing we're going to look at is functions. So for a function, all you have to do is go up here and actually press this button next to functions. This will create a new function here, just like the other thing. You could name it anything you want. So let's say player death function. So why would you not use this instead of event graph? Because here, in a custom event, because here you have your own kind of event graph for each function. So if I make 2 functions here, each one would have its own kind of grid where you can work with and have more space. It'll be kind of more organized. So the difference between them is that, first of all, the function, as you can see right here, you can do inputs just like the custom event, but you also have outputs. So basically, you can pass through a variable and then have more variables pass back through it. So when you call a function, so I call player death function here. As you can see, this is just going to be like this, the event, where you can pass the values to, but it also spits out values as well. So for example, let's say, let's go ahead and unhook this. Right, so we're not going to actually call this event anymore. I'm going to call this function. So I actually didn't name it anything, but let's go ahead and X these out. Let's say this is health, and let's just say this is health plus 1. So basically what I'm going to do is just like before, I'm going to get the player health, which is going to be 1, and we're going to pass it through. Then in our output, what you're going to do is just do this. I'm going to add 1 and then go here. Basically what's happening is we're calling this function from the beginning of the game. It's going to basically go here. It's going to run this. It's essentially going to add this value of this variable that's being passed through. And then it's going to come back here and it's going to send that value. So if I actually print string here, I'm actually just going to copy this. So you can just highlight, copy, paste, Control V. And if you put this in here now it's going to say 2 because it's taking 1, which is the player health, adding it within the function here, and then it's going to basically print it out here back to the event. If I actually go in here, it's going to say 2. Now, what I did here also, since this is a pass-through value, this player character health is actually not changing. It's still 1. I just added 1 to the value. So this is not linked. Essentially, this pass-through variable is not linked to the actual variable in the event graph. So just to keep in mind. So if you want to change it, you would have to basically get a set here. You would set this value and then you would print it. Another thing with functions is it has local variables. So you can actually go in the bottom left here and look at local variables. So this is essentially just within the function itself. So you can have whatever you want. So it could be whatever function or whatever variable you want, as many as you want here. And this can be used for the function. So whatever you do in here, you calculate whatever. And then those variables, once the function is done, is not going to be used anymore. So it's good because it's not going to be in the global event graph. So you just don't have 20 variables that barely get used, maybe get used once or twice, things like that. You can have it just within the function. So it just keeps things a lot more organized and a lot more efficient. So another difference, because right now it might look like, why not just use functions? Because it's more organized. You can organize them more. You have local variables. It just seems a lot better. One difference is with custom events, you can use delays. So with custom events, you can have a delay. So if I write a delay, so this basically means that I can have a latent kind of events. So basically, I can wait 1 second here and then do something. So if I were to essentially delete this now and go back to our normal player death event, and let's just keep it on 0, doesn't really matter, it's going to print 0. But now it's going to do it after 1 second. As you see, it took a second and it printed the string. But with functions, you can't do that because they essentially have to be instant. So once you pass through this variable in the function, let me just get that out. This variable needs to get passed out to the next one. And if you really, I mean, it doesn't have to have an output. You don't have to have an output. It could just be that, right? It could just be empty. But this essentially, you cannot have a delay. So if I actually go in this function here and I try to write delay, it does not work. There's no delay node. So that's one thing to look at. So if you have latent events, you would use a custom event. And if you had to basically calculate something really fast, so if you had to do big math calculations, you use a function, because you can have inputs, you can have local variables that you use, and then you can just have a return node. So that's basically the difference with that. So I just want to tell you that because we're going to be using a lot of this, both of these functions and events. And also, there's not 100% like, no one's telling you exactly what's right or when to use it. It's kind of like you kind of have to judge it yourself. When do you think a function would be better? When do you think an event will be better? Like I said, if you have a delay or something, event will be better. If you have a function, it's probably better to, if it's like a lot of calculations and a lot of variables, you will use a function. Now the last one is macros. So if you actually look under functions here, you see something called macro. Oh, also before I actually go to macros, so functions can also be called from other blueprints. So if we actually go back to our UI blueprint that we made in the last video, or the widget, if you actually go here, you can actually do player.function. So you can actually call the function from here and also get the pass-through values from the different blueprint. So that's also good to know, because macros, you can't do that. So in macros, it's the same. You have inputs and outputs, just like functions, right? So you can pass these through, and you can also have multiple executions, because as you can see, we don't have the white triangle, right? So in the function and also in the custom elements, you have this execution pin, right? With macros, you can actually put that in here. So if you actually go into inputs and go into variables, one of them is execution, and you can have multiples. You can have 1, 2, and then you can have 1, 2 on the output as well, right? So you can have it like this. If I go in event graph here and you drag in new macro, this gets called. Something you have to note is with new macros, you can't call it outside this blueprint. So you can go to the widget blueprint here and call, I don't even know what I call this. It's called new macro. So if I try to call a new macro, it doesn't exist. So it can only be called within its own blueprint. It also doesn't have local variables. So what is this used for? This is essentially used within its own blueprint to keep things organized. So if you're using code that you're going to be using a lot within its own variable, within its own blueprint, this is essentially just to keep things organized. You can basically put in multiple executions and have them, maybe you can have one here and then another event, maybe the player death calls this one. And as you see in the macro, the second one goes to number 4. And so number 4 would call maybe 1 here, and then this will call this, something like that. So it's just there to keep things organized, and also it's just better visually. We're gonna use macros, but I don't use it as much. I typically just use events and functions for the most part. So I just wanted to do that for this video to kind of let you guys know, because for the player death, we're gonna need custom events and potentially functions as well. So I'm just gonna clean things up here. So you have player death. I'm just gonna delete these, and I'm gonna keep this for now. Let's delete that as well. So that's essentially events or custom events, functions, and macros. I'm actually gonna delete this and keep the player death function for now. And in the next video, we're gonna do the player death and also respawn and ragdoll as well. So if you guys want to know how to do that, make sure to stay tuned for the next video. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.